Now, before developing a wholesale real estate business, you have to develop a wholesale real estate process. So today we'll discuss why you have to develop a wholesale real estate process first, and also we'll discuss how to develop a wholesale real estate process. So first, why you have to develop a wholesale real estate process. Well, for one, developing a wholesale real estate process allows you to delegate the positions to other people, right? So if you don't know how to actually do the whole business yourself, you'll never be able to assign roles to other people. So for instance, if you are not comfortable with cold calling yourself, then you probably should not rush to assigning it to someone else unless you can maybe pay for the best that money can buy when it comes to your cold callers or whoever you have cold calling for you. But what I recommend is if you learn how to cold call yourself, then you'll be able to accurately give, delegate your responsibilities to the person up under you, whoever you decide to hire. So you'll be able to train them to the best of your capability. But before that, you'll also be able to learn administrative work, so how to pull the leads yourself, how to actually sell the property yourself before you hire a dispositions manager, and also how to run comps yourself without having to solely rely on a realtor or even have to solely rely on a contractor when it comes to looking at the repairs. All of these things you should already have like a basic premise of how to do these things. That way you'll be able to delegate it to other positions. All right, so now we know why it's important. Let's discuss how to actually delegate and develop an actual wholesale real estate process. Now, first off, as I alluded to earlier, guys, I personally believe that cold calling is the best way for you to start off in wholesale real estate or any type of real estate when it comes to dealing with motivated sellers, because with cold calling you are more active versus other forms of marketing where you're more passive, waiting for leads to come to you. So an example of this, developing a wholesale real estate process, what it looks like when it comes to cold calling is setting a specific period of time to cold call, right? So whether that be 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, however long it takes you, but you should cold call to success, and learn how to cold call to success by clicking that video up there, guys. But when you are cold calling and cold calling to success, you're learning just throughout the progression of maybe failing forward and hearing no. You're actually learning the process, so you'll feel comfortable to delegate it. Okay, now beyond the cold calling, you have to find leads. So another phase of your wholesale real estate process is going to look like you setting time each day dedicated to finding new leads, guys. Just literally finding new leads. However you have to do it, brainstorm new ways to how to do it. If you are curious of one way to find new leads, click that video up there. It works no matter where you are. But you have to develop new ways to find leads and new ways to discuss with your clients, just new ways to do things. Okay, so I would recommend just spending about 30 minutes a day on that, right? And also with cold calling, when you're first starting off, I would recommend you setting a specific number of cold calls rather than a specific time. So you can start like cold calling for 2 hours, but maybe start cold calling 50 people instead of making it about a time thing. You feel me? That way you'll be able to see the steady progression. That way when you delegate, again, you'll be able to give to your, the people up under you, your team members, whatever you want to refer to them as. You'll be able to tell them, hey, call 10 people a day, call 15 people a day. However many work for you, you'll be able to give them that same advice. Okay, so now that you realize how to make the sale of the property, how to make the cold calls yourself, how to make the cold calls yourself, how to find the properties. Let's figure out how to sell the property yourself. Now, I've given you guys a couple different ways on how to sell the property yourself. One is up here with using fake buyers. You can check out that video. But guys, learning how to sell the property yourself is very important, and it's so important because you can never give, you can never give that to somebody else without you developing, whether it be a process or a relationship with a buyer, okay? Because when you develop a relationship with the buyer, they want to know that you're not just sending them, everybody else deals, daisy chain deals, anything like that. They want to know that you're an official company, you're an official person doing official business. So that being said, you have to develop that relationship first, whether it be with another wholesaler or whether it be with the actual end buyer. With you developing that relationship first, then maybe as you progress and as your business progress, then you will be able to actually delegate this task. Now, right there, guys, is the basic premise on how to set up your wholesale real estate process. You get the property sold, you get the property under contract, all of these simple things. But also another thing that you will be able to delegate, possibly just starting off, is taking pictures of the property. So taking pictures of the property is something you can do yourself if you decide to. If you decide to do it yourself, you can, but you also can pay people to do it as well. But that's something where you can delegate that when you first start off if you are a virtual investor, okay? Now, another huge thing to really sum it all up, guys, to wrap it up, You have to really understand the difference between a wholesale real estate business and a process. The process, you're doing it yourself, right? So you may be self-employed, you may be financially independent, but it's not really, maybe not financial freedom because you're not operating a business. So you're actually still the one in the business, doing the business, but you're not operating, overseeing the business, okay? So that's what we want to grow to. We want to grow to where we're overseeing the business. We have people in place. Now, following those steps that I just gave you guys will help you grow to the point where you have people in place that are doing the things for you. But first, remember, don't be so quick to delegate in the beginning. Establish your presence first before you delegate. That way you would know what you're delegating, okay? Because if you don't know what you're doing, somebody that you're hiring can mess around and tell you that they're doing the right thing, and you don't know that to not be true. So that's why you got to make sure you know what you're doing, all right? But anyway, as always, guys, until next time, as always, get to stepping.